Welcome to Elden Ring. My name is Nilaus, and this is another guide on dungeons in a specific area. This area being Eastern Liurnia of the Lakes. We're going to cover these 4 dungeons, and they're super cool, awesome, awful, and amazing. There's even a hidden door and a hidden boss that starts a long quest chain in one of them, in the last one. So do check it out. If you want to skip ahead to a particular one, then use the scrubber below and also the chapters, so you can jump to the one you want to look at. If you want more of these kind of guides, hit the like button and consider subscribing to the channel. Let's dive into the first dungeon here. The first one is Cliffbottom Catacombs, and you will find it at, surprise, surprise, at the bottom of the cliff. If you can't find your way down, then right north, and then you can go down closer, and then right south again, and you will find it at the location marked on the map. So Catacombs means that we are going to face either skeletons or gargoyles. In this one, it's all about them gargoyles. And we're going to dive in, and if you see an elevator, you can be pretty sure that there is a drop-off halfway. So let's make sure that we look for that, so we can jump down. Here it is. For our awareness and agility, we were rewarded with a Grave Glove Ward 2. Yay! So we can see gargoyles, that's what is on the menu here. There's always someone hiding behind the corner. And you will see the new style of fighting for me in going forward. It is pretty much trying to get as many critical hits by them. And there we go. Here's another one. It's the guard counter into a critical hit. That will do. You can see the red thing there. That's because we're using the Crimson Assassin's dagger we found early in Limgrave. And by doing that, that means my guard counters, jump attacks, charged R2s, backstabs, they're all great ways to break stance and get some critical hits. Critical hits will then give us more healing, and later on, when we're done with all these dungeons, we will also be able to get mana or focus points as well. So that's a pretty damn awesome way to get a lot of sustain with the character, and I would highly recommend it. It works absolutely amazing, and it's also a really super fun way to play because it's so rewarding to just knock people down. Alright, so we need to go over to this statue up there, but we can only go down. You can also see down there is actually something. It's not just a bottomless pit as it usually is, but we'll come back to that afterwards. We're going to start by doing this part. There's, always one in the ceiling, so let's use the... There we go. I love using the traps to kill enemies. It's so cool. We're going to keep doing that. Now at this point you're going to be like, so it's just gargoyles? Well, no, not really. It gets a lot tougher as we go into the next room. This room here, then we see the other kind of enemy we are going to face, and you can see me preparing. Sneaky, and the two-handed weapons. They remind me of the headless monsters from Dark Souls 3. They are big, they're really annoying, they have an annoying moveset, and the way to take them out. This one is not super good because it doesn't do as it should be. It should be like a fully charged, and then a fully charged, and then it should be staggered, but it doesn't stagger. Instead, it just absolutely destroys me. So we're just going into a good old-fashioned trading fight where I just hammer away because I'm like, just one more hit, then I'm good. Typical classical Dark Souls flaw. Instead, we should do this and actually use skill and, but it has a monstrous amount of hit points, and there'll be 6 of those in the dungeon, so at least one of them will be done perfectly, I hope. So now we're going to sneak up. There's another one patrolling. They are pretty much blind, so no problem there. We just wait for it to move aside. As soon as it turns away, we can go upstairs. If you decide to attack this one immediately, then you will be faced with 2 little gargoyles up top that throwing things at you, and that's just not what you need. Now, I've tried these a few times, and if you start by backstabbing, then they are not going to die, and they will instead drop down. So I'm going to start with a charge attack, because then they stagger, and you can get a critical hit, getting some heals back, and then moving over to another one. It got up, but it didn't really go. So the big one has discovered us. That's okay. We are in iframes, and it's coming in. And then let's shift down. I need to get a bit more space to buff up our weapon with flame. I am going to be using the flames pretty much all the time. Yep, go away from that one. And then we need to find a location such as this. And there. That's what we're looking for. We want to stagger. Then we do the follow-up critical hit. It goes down. We should be able to do another one. And then only the last one is not perfect. That's a lot easier way of dealing with them. So we can go up here. Now we have a fog gate that needs a stone sword key. I don't think it's worth doing this one, but hey, I'm gonna do it. Yay, jump of joy. I'm gonna do this so that you can see what you get, and then you can consider whether you want it. And of course there's always a gargoyle hanging somewhere. Here we go, a Nox mirror helm. It's a helm that's not particularly good in my opinion, but maybe you find it to be better. Remember to go in here. There's a very valuable thing. We get a runa from that corpse. It's easy to forget. And then let's move up and proceed. The interesting thing about all of this area we're going here isn't actually leading towards the opening of the dungeon, for the boss fight. This is just basically just finding a bit of loot and stuff, which is a bit strange. Again, you can see how we're just stuck in iframes, vulnerability frames, while we are doing the critical hits, so we are safe when there's multiple enemies as soon as we're in that animation. Really cool, I think. And it also just gives us so much more sustain. Moving further into this relatively useless room, to be honest. There isn't a whole lot to do here. There's a bit of loot here. We just need to lure them in so they get closer, and then let's use the trap to get as much damage or a lot of damage on them as possible. I love using the traps. Get a bit of loot, a scythe, and we have, yeah, lo and behold, one more. Also taken care of, and also a little flower on our way out. So this didn't, whoops, yep, don't step on the trap. Somehow I forget that. So now we need to go down. Honestly, all of this was just to get that loot, which isn't amazing. But hey, we gotta do everything. What you could have done to go quickly was just go down here. You can see there's one here. So let's buff up with flames. I want to do as much damage as possible because we want to stagger them and we want to hit them as few times as possible. Unfortunately, this jump attack doesn't really do much. And then we get beat up. What is important here is you don't have a lot of place to move on. In this case, so because there is a second one really close by and you really don't want to fight two of those at the same time, so try to stay here in the middle and not go too far to the sides so you end up aggroing the other one. The other one is right there, and even as soon as we go around the corner, even though we're sneaking, it responds and get one attack, get two attacks. We got him down, he got us down, but we were going to be healing from the critical hit. I love that way of working, and did it. That's way easier, that one, than the other ones. And we can then proceed. A prattling peat, wonderful. That's it's an item that you can use to make sounds in game. Weird, but hey, we take it, we get it, and we move on. So how many did we kill of those now? We killed 4 of them, so it means there should be 2 left. We go around here, have a look. Traps on that side, so we need to find the pressure plate. And there's another one coming at us. It's not actually coming all the way in. It's stopping there, so we have time to buff. And then let's use the pressure plate to aggro. It deals a fair bit of damage. And can we get it again? Yep, we can get it again. And we killed it without any problems thanks to the pressure plate. And we switch back. And then we are coming around the corner and there's nothing in this room. But let's check anyway. And we get the ladder that will get us all the way up to the lever that we need to pull in order to open the door for the last boss of this area. So making good progress. And just around the corner, sneak, two-hander. Let's see if this one is good. And there, and there. We did get a little hit, but that's okay. We get healed again. Damn. It's just almost healed all the way up. And we get an item, and that is Page Ashes. I don't really get the Page Ashes. Page Ashes take, I think it was like 81 focus point to do, so it's like really expensive to cast it. And it's a page with a crossbow, so I mean, it must be a really good one, I suppose. Here's the lever. That's what we needed. And also some Old Fang. That's some crafting material that will probably just stay in our crafting pouch for the rest of the game. Moving up, and here comes the big question: was it down or was it up? I think it was up. it was. So we go up to this altar, turn right, and we have the upcoming boss. This is a dog cat boss, dog cat statue. It says it's a dog, but it's not. It looks more like a cat. So buff up here. When we get in, we are going to summon our wolves. The same procedure as always. The wolf is easy to use for distractions. I think these bosses, well, they're really not that interesting. I think it's great to have these kind of things, but they're not interesting enough to sort of warrant going all in and learning their movesets like long. It's basically like, okay, that's probably a slam down. That's probably gonna hit us. Yeah, okay. And that's a swipe. And unfortunately, since we got the hit, then we couldn't get that attack. But probably want to avoid that one. And is it then it's coming for us? But it then gets distracted. Somehow my depth perception is completely off, but no matter. One more. There we go. And then we get the critical hit. And that's it. Alright, so for our troubles, we get a Cadence Sellsword Ashes. Pretty good, probably, but way too expensive for me to use. The next dungeon is Stillwater Cave, and I'm starting here with the 2 jellyfish because there are a few different plateaus out there in the southern part of the water part of Liurnia, of the lake, I suppose. And if you look for those 2 jellyfish, it's much easier to find. So let's go in. This is an absolutely horrible dungeon. I don't know. I think it's the worst. I think it's the worst I've encountered so far. Not difficulty-wise, but just frustration-wise. And it's of course because, as you can see here, it is full of water. And it's not just water, it's poison water. And everything here just causes poison. If you fall down, this is super important, just keep running further into the cave, and then that's where you get up. And that's also where you get to the boss fight. But hey, that would be the easy way, and we're not going to do the easy way. So we're going to go all around the edge here, just grab everything that we can and kill everything that we can as well. Got that bat done. These, I'm just calling them poison cultists. Let's just do that. They're mushroom heads. Oh, they actually are mushroom heads. I didn't even notice that. So let's try to not get hit by these. And then I'm jumping over. If you miss your jump and you just fall down, then as I said, you just keep running the same direction as your the same direction, sort of, that is to the left right now, and then that's where you can get up. And I would not fight too much down there, just try to get up and get to safety again. And also, if you get poisoned, then just accept your poison for a while, because at least at that point you're not going to get more poisoned, and then at least some of the damages isn't really that severe. It just needs to sort of get poisoned, be poisoned, get to safety, and then remove poison. So of course you need those poison boluses. Here in this room, this is a dead end, but it has a bit of loot, and we have 2 normal bats and a sort of elite bat, the singing ones. And we're gonna get you. Come on, get up here so we can take care of you. Ding. And take care of that. And then we should get the other one. Unfortunately, this one has a poison breath. Then we are just poisoned. So once we're poisoned, we're poisoned. That's just the way it is. And don't get hit by the grab. Can't block the grab. And it falls down, and we can just clean it up. I can't do the critical hit. Don't know how that works, and that bat is falling down. Anyway, it's a good time to get rid of our poison. And then capture whatever loot we have here without getting re-poisoned again. Serpent arrow? Weird. And in here we have the sage outfit. Sage hood, sage brooch, sage trousers. Great. And a golden rune. And then we can go back to the central room again. This is not a very big dungeon, but it can be super frustrating because if you fall down because, well, basically because you panic. Or, well, I panic. So let's we'll try to avoid it and try to sort of stay on target here. And we're going to be moving around and just see over on the other side we have someone there, and we have a bit of attack here. There are 3 bats, I think, and I'm being a bit overzealous by trying to fight the bats while there's one of the mushroom heads shooting at us. So almost doesn't end well. Let's go in here and take care of the bats first, and then without being hit by the poison, and then we can take care of the poison afterwards. There. Alright, only 2 bats, I guess. Then we can move over. Since we are poisoned, it doesn't really matter if we get poisoned again. And we can go in and just recover some health from just our backstab. I just absolutely love it. It works brilliantly in this case because it mitigates so much of the poison damage. So we're going to look down in the ravine. This is the location where if you fall down, you continue to that location. That's the only place you can get up from down there. So we'll jump down there because there's not much else, and then we'll jump up, and then we'll continue on this path over here. There. And then look for a way down. Again, you can see there are a bit of loot down there. Nothing much in terms of sort of exciting, but we're gonna go jump down and get some of it. Probably almost all of it. But again, this whole poison thing, it just leeches a lot of hit points, and that's actually the most difficult part of this dungeon, is the fact that you're just continuously losing hit points from everything down here. What I'm gonna do is I am not going to kill all of it down here. I'm gonna focus on these mushroom heads, and then also focus on getting some heals from them. Now we're gonna need more heals, and there might actually have been something that way. I don't think we've been to that pond, that location. So as you can see, things are just getting a bit dicey here. Somehow that misses, and we're down to half health again, and we need to get out of this infested location. Killing these big ones doesn't really get us anything. Get maybe a bit of, I think it's called Miranda powder or something like that. I don't know. Not particularly something I miss. So we just get what we can and get out of here. Now we can see our poison is slowly ticking down, and it's actually going to be fitting just perfectly as we progress towards the boss. We saw the stake of Marika right there, and for some reason we missed our opportunity to backstab. That's okay, and since we are poisoned, then this poison breath doesn't do anything, and we can continue downwards. That should give us ample opportunity to heal from these. They are extremely docile. There. And with this one we should be almost fully healed. Yep. And the last one. Well, this one will get us to fully healed. And our poison is almost down as well, so that's... Looks like we don't even need to get any curing of this poison, and we just need to drop down, and then we get to the boss fight. A bit of loot, make sure the poison doesn't stack up too much. We get poison grease. Interesting. It's really hard to figure out what is good against what. So in this fight, I could summon the wolves, but I'm not going to, because this is a unique enemy that we haven't seen before. So I wanted to sort of have a look at it. Unfortunately, I have too much of a look at it and get hit by some of the stupid attacks it has. It's just that the enemy style here is kind of cool. That spike thing looks very much like one of the concept arts, and also so it's a clean rotten knight. Really interesting. I get like I'm too fascinated by the model and not fascinated about the fight. So we are now rotted and spiked and all of that stuff. So let's try not sucking from here on and actually kill the boss. So when they're crossed, you can't really do anything. That's a perfect attack or a perfect block. So all you can do is, well, heal and then dodge to the side. This is not a good chance to do a guard counter, as you can see. Go to the side, go to the side, and go roll away so we don't get spiked again. That one is good for guard counter opportunity. Yeah, so that is a good guard counter opportunity because it's a single hit, and then we kill it. There isn't any more here. Even though it looks like it, we get our winged sword insignia, and we are ready for the next boss fight arena, or next dungeon. Next one is Raya Lucaria Crystal Tunnels. This, I would highly recommend getting to that one as fast as possible, because it is, yeah, it has a lot of upgrade materials, and it's not particularly difficult. So definitely get there, and you will get so many upgrade materials. I'm not taking the elevator down because, as you can see here, we're going into the side, taking some cracked crystals, or cracked crystals, I don't know. We'll take them anyway, and then we're just going to be dropping down. If you notice here, when I walk off, then as we land, there we can keep walking immediately. While later on, when I jump down, you can see that there's a bit of an impact animation when you jump down. And we go into Raya Lucaria Crystal Tunnels, We're going to be fighting some of those miners, and most of them are, well, they guess they're pretty harmless, and they don't aggro on for anything. Otherwise, they're just slow and have high resistance. Since I'm using a slashing and not a blunt weapon, then we're not dealing very much damage, and okay. As a result, we really want to get as many backstabs as possible, because it's just makes it a lot easier. So backstab also make sure that we keep our health up. The biggest enemy in this one is definitely gravity, and that will kill you in a number of different exotic ways. So let's try to stay away from doing that. More crystals. And into the first big room of these of this dungeon. I think there are I don't know, 3, depending on how you count. This item that was just above our head is really difficult to get, and it'll probably take a few tries to get it. At least it did for me, unless you're better at platforming. And here we take this out, and as you can see, the ones that are mining, they don't do anything while I'm just doing the overseer next to it. And the crystal next to us, that is smithing stone, so absolutely get all of those. Be careful when walking down the stairs, because if you don't walk exactly at the stairs, the platforms and the stairs are not exactly located next to each other. So it's very easy to walk from one platform and think that there's something on the platform below, but there's a ladder or a staircase before. Look at it when we walk here. It looks like it continues, but it's not all of this platform that goes into the staircase, only a small part of it. And that's a good way to get yourself killed. So now comes a bit of platforming. I'm going to use normal jumps, and if I can go through this, so can you. Normal jump, go a bit back, normal jump, and go a bit back, normal jump. This part, you really should be doing a running jump. So that means move forward, then press circle, and then press X to jump. And we got a smithing stone for our troubles. Here you absolutely have to do a running jump. Otherwise you're not going to make it. And the same with the last one is Sumper Smithing Stone 3. That's a good item to get. Here I'm just taking a deep breath before doing a move. Hold down forward, hold down circle, then press the jump. Here's another example of a staircase that almost missed. That is just information for you, not at all based on personal experience of falling to my death several times for the same stupid mistake. But now you know, you don't have to do that. Here is an elevator that we will be unlocking later on, should you need it, if you die a bit later on in the dungeon. I think that the most likely thing to kill you is going to be gravity, or aggroing too many things at once. So let's push on forward into this next big room. First we take out the one on the side. There really isn't a need for it, aside from, well, it's a bit of XP not XP, runes and stuff. 155. So down here we have 2, but as we aggro those, we are going to aggro other things in the background as well. I want to take the one we're targeting now, because that's a caster. The other one is, even though it has golden eyes, it's just a melee. And the casters are by far more dangerous. See there, now another caster at range has decided to be part of the fun. And now, just to make it even more annoying, I aggroed one more caster downstairs. So we go up here. These lasers are super fast. They're just, you kind of have to anticipate when they're coming. Unfortunately, I didn't get any good critical hits, so we're just going to have to brute force our way through and get out of line of sight of the one below to heal up and get ready to jump down on him. Are you done? There, now you're done. My turn. Not the great. I wanted to get a backstab, but we can always just get another backstab. Wait for it to start casting. Get backstab. It's all good. There. Now, we want to go up, just make sure that we got everything, and there are some exits out of this. We're starting with this one. This is just a little room that has a smithing stone. Yep, a smithing stone 3, and another little deposit with another smithing stone 3. So this is a great place to get like a good supply of smithing stone 2 and 3. And let's see. Yeah, we take you. And that's taking care of that. And then we're going to go back and clean out the rest of the room. This is the progression with an elevator going down. So we take all the other ones, all the other part first. saw it. It soars somehow, so it got up, but it doesn't really matter because the procedure is the same. And we should be able to maintain a full hit points for all of this dungeon, basically. Take the other one, the last one in this area, and then we can just grab the loot. That's a clumsy. Grab the loot, grab more loot, and there's a little deposit we can also take. There might be some deposits here and there that I missed, but I think I take all of them. And then we can go forward and go down and to the elevator to the next area. And as always, if there's an elevator, then there is a jump off somewhere down there. Almost always. One exception though, but we're going to jump in here. And we basically go out and can take a look at the region that we need to look at afterwards. And there is one thing here. Yes, there has to be something. There, Sumper Smithing Stone. Good, we got it. And then we can just look down. This is where we need to go afterwards. So there's like 2 more levels down. There's the next level, and then there's the final boss level, I guess. But you can get there faster by just falling down and dying. But that's not really helpful. So now the point about jumping down, if you jump, then you can see there's a little animation with the impact animation. So you can't start walking immediately as you jump down. So if you can, just walk off. I think that's works better. And so proceeding into the next area. And there's this one is mining a smithing stone, so let's get those. And you're dead. And get the smithing stone. This time it was only a smithing stone too. And again, that's a case where the staircase is deceptive. Now as we cross this beam, here's a trick not to do. If you do the auto log on, you will lock on to the one that moves past, and then you will start walking towards it, and you will fall down to your death. Again, just a theoretical thing, not something that's based on my own experience at all. But yeah, now you know. This is the bottom of the elevator that we found at the beginning, so we can get to this point by jumping on the elevator, and we will be going all the way up with the elevator, and there's lots more loot down there that we'll be coming back to. This is one of the elevators that, for some reason, unbeknownst to us, does not have any jump off midway. I'm so used to it that I'm actually going to be staring into the wall just to make sure, because there's always a jump off, except not this time. Let's take the one miner here that is protecting 3 good deposits. Take it. That's a smithing stone 2 and a smithing stone 3, and then we have one more. Just jump down, and that's another smithing stone 3, and we can now progress further into dungeon, and then we get a new type of enemy, the marionettes. The marionettes are you'll see a lot of those in Raya Lucaria. There's also a lot actually in Liurnia the lakes. This is really annoying. Don't block it, just roll to the side. It's so much safer than doing that. So since that came from the side, then let's walk in here and see what it was protecting. It was protecting a little bit of goodies. That's very nice. A smithing stone 1. No, 3 smithing stone 1s. 1 smithing stone 2, and yeah, that was it. So let's take one of these out. These are just not really dangerous, but as long as they don't get to the attack. I should have gotten the critical hit, but we'll have plenty of things that we can heal from in this location, such as the very next thing. We can see some of these casters standing with their backs to it. There's actually one right behind us, but as long as we get into the attack animation, we have iframes, so we can see the shots go straight through us. And just roll to the side, and 2 arrows go into the chest. There, taken care of. And then let's see what we have in the chest. And if I recall correctly, it is a crystal knife Not exactly the kind of weapon we are using, but hey, it might be useful to some. And we're going forward. Nope, nothing more. And the next one is also a big area that isn't really particularly tough, but just don't aggro everything at once. So look at these three that are mining. They are protecting quite a few deposits, 4 deposits actually, and then there's an overseer looking at them. We want to take the overseer out, and I actually don't do it the right way. I should have just sort of snuck down and then, but he has way more hit points than I had anticipated. And by me just going absolutely crazy, just swinging like crazy, I end up aggroing way too much. And yeah, so let's back up a bit. Yeah. And then good things, as long as we have these, then we can always use these for healing. There we go. And we're all healed up. And then let's take the other one. Again, we can just wait for him to do some kind of casting. And then do a backstep. And the miners, as long as you don't hit them, then they don't do anything. So that's just, you can take them out when you're ready for it. Wow, miss. And let's see how much we get from the goodies. We get 1 smithing stone 3, 1, 2, 3 smithing stone 3, and 1 somber smithing stone 1. Why is that only a level 1? But there's even more in this corner. You can see 2 deposits to our right as well, and there's another one even further in. So it's just, there's just so much here. I got this pretty late into my Liurnia of the Lakes, and I would say take this one as one of the first ones. The other ones don't really give you anything super useful unless you have something specific you want. XP and just a good time. They will always give you a good time, except for the Stillwater Cave. That doesn't give you a good time. So we're just gonna go up here just to check anything. Yep, there's a caster here. Let's take care of. And let's just go up here just to make absolutely sure we didn't miss anything. And then they have a, that is the side branch. We can take that before we go in and take the boss fight. Only a single thing here. Spell Shatter Earth. So now we have that as well. So I'm sure you noticed I missed a little thing up here. That one, super useful. Very important to get. Now we got it. And then we should be coming up on the boss fight. Well, first another elevator. So going further down. And again, look for the jump off point. This one has a Somber Smithing Stone 3, definitely worth getting. Definitely. We jump down, and then all we have left is, I believe, the boss fight. So, this boss fight, yeah, there's the golden gate at the end. The boss fight, well, it's, as far as I understand, it has kind of a, let's call it a crystal shield, so that we don't deal a lot of damage in the beginning. But if you just power through the shield, then it falls off, and then it's very easy. So just get your attacks in. Again, we set the wolves just for distractions. They're fully charged attack and deal 23 damage, and the wolves are just dealing like 1 or 2 damage. So like a massive damage. But as soon as we got that attack in, now we can see we deal a lot of damage, and it's just stagger city. Nothing to do except just continue to stagger. And that's it. Now this item is super good and really valuable. Smithing Stone Miner's Bell Bearing. Get this to the 2 traders in Round Table Hold, and you will be able to purchase an unlimited amount of Smithing Stones 1 and 2. Now we come up to the next one, Black Knife Catacombs. I'm going to start out here because I fought this guy on foot and it was kind of annoying. So I decided to do it on horseback, and it is trivial is an understatement. Completely trivialized this guy. So yep, but just wanted to show you that if this guy annoying, then just deal with it on a horseback. Let's go in, and then I had to check because I felt that this guy should drop something for us, but he didn't. So just kick him there. Oops. We are going in here, and of course remembering the lamp. moving forward. And into Black Knife Catacombs. This Black Knife Catacombs is pretty interesting. It says Beast Eye Quivers. That means there is a death root in this dungeon, so we need to find that. There are 2 bosses. The first one I found that has 2 bosses. There is a secret room, and we'll also get that. Now, here I'm using my Sacred Blade. It's absolutely amazing in here because it deals holy damage, so you don't have to sort of extra kill the skeletons. But since I don't kill them in one strike, it's kind of wasteful to do it, and I'm not going to use that a lot. Now these skeletons, the first one is a regular skeleton, but the next ones, if you notice that these skeletons have like a black cloud around them, black mist, that means they can't be killed. So I just run past it, because further ahead we're going to have this guy, let's call him a summoner. When we kill the summoner, the skeletons die. The skeletons associated with that summoner dies. There are some more in there, some archers, as you can see, from the arrows poking out of me. But we'll take those later. Here's an opportunity for us to waste a stone sword key, so I will always waste those, just so we can make sure that we can see what's in here. Now it's not something that's worthwhile for us, but I mean, leaving a door unlocked is just, I mean, you want to get it. And somehow, for some reason, I forget how skeletons work, so I forget to actually give him the double tap to make sure it stays down. Good. And now let's do the double tap. There we go. And we're gonna go in there and fish for a guard counter and crit, so we get some healing. It's so amazing. Like, when you have trash mobs, you can just always go for healings, either backstabs or critical hits, in order to get some healing from them. Super amazing. And let's see what it is. It is an axe. This is an intelligence-based axe, which makes no sense in my world. The whole idea that you need to be a certain amount of intelligence to use an axe does not fit with me, but that's probably because I'm not intelligent enough to use that axe. Now these skeletons also have the black mist around them, and we can't kill them, so what we're going to do is we're going to stand on this one. Well, we're going to try at least, as it goes up. There, it goes up, and then we can jump on this ledge, and here's the summoner. So let's kill the summoner. And the skeletons die, the 2 skeletons down here. We can continue in there, but we are going to do it in a different way. This is actually the progression, but we're going to jump down because it just makes it a little bit easier later on. So get these things and move forward. Now we're coming up on a good old-fashioned regular skeleton. Yep. No black mist, so this one can be killed as usual. There we go. And here is a ladder going down to a basement, a cellar, a sewer, whatever. And as always, if you see small crabs, you know that the big crabs are right around the corner. So we switch to a 2-hander. I feel pretty confident about handling big crabs, so they are not that bad. This grid in front of us, we are going to be dropping down behind that afterwards, but taking out the crab before just makes it really useful. So here we have an item over there, and as we get close to the item, the crabs spawn. Let's have a look at how I do this. Well, first I spent too much time on getting the flame up, but just wait and then dodge behind it. Try to get behind it so you can get a powered attack. And just, okay, that was a bit careless, but it works still fine. Whenever it has an attack, you can dodge to the side and do a charge attack. 2 fully charged attacks with a good 2-hander, and it gets knocked down and it's dead. Thank you, Runak. If you do it this way, it's going to be simple because you can fight one of the crabs at a time instead of having to fight both of them at once. And it's now coming in. Unfortunately, I somehow equipped this shield again, so we deal less damage. That was 1 stab. Then we just wait, roll through it, and another stab. It doesn't go down at this point. We need to go 1 more, and it goes down. And that's it. So crabs are not really a big deal. After the Smoldering Lake of Dark Souls 3, I decided that I needed to learn how to deal with crabs. So that's what we did. But we'll come back down here from the other side of the grid, and then we just backtrack again. Getting back into the cleaver room. Wait for the cleaver to go down. Wait for the cleaver to go down, and then hitch a ride. There. And into the next room where we can also see skeletons. They also have this black and white mist around them, so that means don't bother killing them, just run through them. This can be a bit tricky. This hurts a lot, and since you just ignore, and then just go in, kill fast, and then get away, and they are all dead. All 3 of them. That's very nice. Yep, looks good. And then we can proceed into the next room. And we have a skeleton here. And if you look to the right of the skeleton, there is a little alcove where we can drop down. This will drop us down behind. Yeah, double tap. Drop us down behind the grid, and that's where we want to go. But first, there's another thing we want to do. Let's get that one. Tap. Good. Now at this location, there is an inconspicuous, or yeah, I don't know if it's inconspicuous, but there is a secret wall, and that leads into an extra golden gate. This golden gate is... Golden gate? Well, it's kind of golden. It's a fog gate. Let's go in here. Let's first flame up our weapon. Always, always, always. I always use that. It is easy to grind, so do that. Yep, no wolf summoning. Just good old-fashioned one-on-one. And there's a number of attacks. It's just treated like an NPC invader. That one you don't want to be hit by. It's super telegraphed. It does a lot of bleed damage. Other than that, just work with the distancing and positioning. That one is very telegraphed as well. You can block it and guard counter if you want to. Roll to the side, and then try to find opportunities to get a few hacks in before it goes away. This Black Knight Assassin. That attack is probably better to avoid than to be hit by, but I think that goes for pretty much all attacks. There, look at that. If you have a full stamina bar, that's a good opportunity to get a counter in. That was a great stab. So this is a kind of a long fight because it has a lot of hit points. That one again. Just basically look for opportunities. There's another option, and that one you can really get out of. There we go. But unfortunately, I was already swinging the next swing, so didn't quite work. Toss to the side. Don't want to be hit by that. And again, well, at least I had the block up. Another one, and then let's just go in and just not deal with it anymore. Just get some. Just instead of just dodging all the time, just hack away. Just keep swinging. You gotta hit something. There we go. It's all done. Now we get 2 items, and they're super good. The Assassin's Cerulean Dagger, absolutely amazing. The Black Knife Flint, in Black Knife Flint, you bring that to Roger in Round Table Hold, and it will start a quest. But the Cerulean Assassin's Dagger is exactly like the one that gives us healing, except this one gives us 15 focus points. 15 focus points is an absolute ton of focus points for a character like me. Sacred Blade costs 19, I think. So it's basically like you get 1 crit and you can do 1 Sacred Blade. So from here on, we are going to be using that a lot for our future guides. So we'll be seeing both blue and red follow-ups like here. And then we just get the health regeneration, but we'll then be getting the focus point regeneration. I don't think it's good for a caster because they're probably going to be using way more. But for someone like me, then investing in mind is not very good, and investing in using some of your crimson flasks, using those for changing those to cerulean flasks also seems like a bad idea. So I would just take clearing a few skeletons. If you hadn't done this in advance, then you would be having a giant crab right on the outside just trying to poke through, and that would just be a bad time. Now we killed the boss, but we're not done. So it's also important to, if you go through the whole dungeon, to try to conserve your potions as much as possible. This is why our crit heal based build is really efficient for sustain. Wait, while we're running back, that might be a good opportunity for me to say, hey, if you enjoyed this kind of video and you watched all the way to the end, then maybe consider hitting the like button, and also consider subscribing to the channel for more guides, Elden Ring guides like this. There'll be tons more of dungeon guides, boss guides, and the secret guides, so do check those out. And we're here to the boss fight. This boss fight is, it doesn't have any hit points. but it deals a monstrous amount of damage, so I'm going to pretend that I'm going to on purpose get hit by it a few times just to show how much damage it does. Look at that, 60-70% of our hit points is gone. And I'm also deliberately, of course, going to be hit by this one to show you that you don't want to be hit by this. Now with that out of the way, then let's actually kill it. And you can see how easy it is to kill. That's 1 hit, 2 hits, and 3 hits, and then stuff. Yeah, so it's not very, it doesn't have a lot of hit points, but it's just a lot of confusion in the fight, so that's why the summons are good. In this chest we have the death root that was sort of prophesied that we were here. And then that brings us to the end of the Eastern Liurnia of the Lakes dungeons, so I hope you have found it useful, entertaining, educational, whatever, something new. Thank you very much for watching. As always, take care, stay clean, and stay effective.